Yep, recording live. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Oh shit. It could be doubling up here. Let's okay. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let's go. This could be very interesting. This could be shit. I don't know what's happening. Well, hello. Yep. Am I recording in what's her face? What am I saying? Yes, I am recording in Audacity, and I am recording apparently in StreamYard. I don't know what I'm saying. Hello. My name's Amanda, and welcome back to my podcast, The Tequila Hour. And today, yes, I am going way out there. I am recording this live, and I'm also recording this in Audacity. I don't know what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm also, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I am recording this because this is an experiment. This will be me, take a deep breath. This will be me recording my podcast every weekend. I am aiming to record my podcast, The Tequila Hour, every weekend. Maybe I have to decide. Will it be Saturday? Will it be Sunday? Who knows? All I know is I'm recording this right now. I'm recording this via StreamYard. And I am recording this in Audacity. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who the fuck I am. But, yeah, it's happening. Anywho, hi. Ow. I am trying to give this a good go. And, yeah, today I'm just going to talk about something that's really frivolous, a lot of fun, and I'm not going to go deep and dark as I usually do, but I'm going to talk about the paranormal. So let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about, in particular, ghosts. Okay, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in the paranormal? You might be like, Amanda, you are full of shito. I am telling you right now that I'm not full of shito. I'm going to try and relate to you some scenarios that I have had in my life in relation to the paranormal. This may or may not relate to you. You might think, Amanda, you're fucking drunk. Guess what? You'd be right. No, I'm not. Let's go back a couple of steps. Okay, Like I said, this is the first time I've recorded a podcast live. I'm recording this in StreamYard. I'm recording this in Audacity. That's the platform I use to record my audio. I will also, moving forward, hopefully this works, but I will be using this kind of format because I will be recording my podcasts and they will be uploaded to YouTube like this. Oh, awkward. That was my alarm. Very weird. Yes. Let me get back to what I was saying. I will be recording my podcast live in YouTube in Audacity, which is live. I will also be obviously editing my podcasts so it gets uploaded into my usual platforms, which is, my favorites being Spotify, Apple, yada yada, Google, etc. But the fact that now Google, what am I saying? The fact that YouTube now has podcasts available in YouTube Music, I'm going for it. You might think this is crap. I'm saying to you, I don't give a fuck. I'm going for it. I'm doing it. That's what's happening. And hopefully this works. I have no idea. I've never done this before, so this is very interesting to me. Let's see what happens. But anyway, so recording it in StreamYard, recording it in Audacity. Hopefully this uploads to YouTube. I don't know what's going to happen. Yep. It is what it is. But let's go on. Let's talk about the subject of the day. The subject of the day is, do you believe in the paranormal? And I'm going to tell you right now, I do. Now, when you're asking, do you believe in the paranormal? You're like, Amanda, what the fuck? And I'm saying to you that there has been periods in my life where I have experienced shit you can't explain. I've experienced stuff that there's no explanation for. Maybe or maybe not, you might be one of those people or persons that have experienced the same as myself, but it is what it is. So I'm going to say to you right now, that's the wrong button. I know what I'm saying. You may or may not, like I've said, I am, that's lightning. What the fuck? Shit's getting serious. Yep. Okay. You may or may not hear this. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm really giving this a red hot go. So you may or may not hear noises in the background, which is my Rode Procaster 2. It's really loud. But yeah, I'm going for it. Yep, that's right. There's lots of noises in the background. Now there's thunder. Like I said, I will listen to this back. I will watch this. It could be crap. I don't care. All I can do is try. All I can do is give it a go. Let's see what happens. But I am really loud. I'm going for it. I'm going for it live. Let's see what's happening. Anyway, stop that right now. Anyway, the paranormal. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about some stuff that I've experienced. Like I said, you might think, Amanda, you are wacko. You would be correcto. But let's talk about it. Okay. I'm trying to think of now. I'm trying to think of a scenario where this is, but okay. There's a couple of things. Okay, when you were growing up, let's start with the old Ouija board or Ouija board. Let's start with that. When you're growing up, and you're at your girlfriend's house or your friend's house, and somehow, somewhat, some reason, who knows, your girlfriend brings out the Ouija board or the Ouija board. You know what I'm talking about? And for some reason, you're bloody, it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. You've had a couple of, snakes. I was going to say I had a couple of drinks. You're not drinking. Well, never happened to me when I was drinking as a child or a teenager. But you're at your friend's house and you're high on sugar, and for whatever reason, your friend decides to bring out the Ouija board and somehow conjure a spirit and ask a spirit, I know, the spirit of Marilyn Monroe, as an example. And you're like, yeah, let's do that. And, you want to be a part of it and you want to get into it and whatever. Okay. I was going to say, we've all done that. If you haven't done that, mate, you haven't lived. But if you have, and you are someone that relates to what I'm putting down, then you have had some experience in your life where you have been at your girlfriend's house and you're in your teens, and someone, for whatever reason, decides that this is a great idea to call upon the spirit of can't even speak, Marilyn Monroe, or whoever else you want to bring up the spirit of. What I'm saying to you is, unfortunately or fortunately, this has happened a couple of times in my childhood, in my teen years. And may I say to you right now that I have experienced some shit that you would think was like X-File worthy. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into it. What I want to go into it is I want to talk about ghosts. Okay. So I just want to bring up one paranormal activity. Okay. Because I'm going to start with the fact that I have watched a couple of ghost, if you want to call them ghost shows on TV, where I don't even know what they're called. Like, I could look it up, but I'm not going to. But where they, go into abandoned buildings, or they go into buildings that, if you're thinking about people who are under distress and might be interesting as goats. I'm talking about old mental institutions. I'm talking about jails. I'm talking about, I don't know, just old houses in general. I'm talking about American because I don't think I've watched any shows talking about the paranormal in Australia. I'm talking about, your standard Discovery weird ghost shows that talk about the fact that they go to an old jail or they go to a bloody mental institution, and the fact that, they go there and they have all their equipment and their audio and these special bloody electric, not electric, they're, oh no, scanners that deal with particular wavelengths. I don't know what they're called because I'm digressing, but anyway, these shows. First of all, I'm going to say to you, they scare the shit out of me. Okay? They're usually on late at night, which shouldn't matter, but somehow it does. They're also, like, for some reason I come upon them and it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm on my own and it's dark and I've got all the lights out and I'm scared. Secondly, these people, I'm trying to think of look, I could look it up, but I'm not going to. There's a particular show, Ghost Hunters, maybe that could be what it's called, where in the light of day, they're talking about, there's been paranormal activities, there's been weird noises, there's been sightings of some sort. And then it cuts to nighttime. So they're set up with their bloody cameras, they're set up with their audio equipment. We have people in different rooms. And basically, the reason why they're doing this is they're basically trying to record in audio or visual or both the existence of ghosts. So, number one, I'm going to go back a couple of steps. Why, if you need to record the existence of ghosts, why is it at nighttime? Okay, that's just ponder on that. So, I can't say to you that ghosts are just readily available, or you can speak to them or you can see them only at nighttime. That seems quite strange to me. Why is it that people who deal with the paranormal and deal with ghosts can only see ghosts at nighttime? That's a question mark. It's a huge one. Ponder on that. Number two, now it's nighttime, okay? They're recording this shit. Why is it that, somehow they kind of record shit, but they never really record shit? What I'm saying to you is they have all these fancy smancy shit. Like they have camera, they have these audio equipment, they have these I don't know, I don't know, they're basically scanners that pick up electromagnetic fields. Not, am I talking out of my ass? I don't know. What they are, they're bloody, there's this equipment that they use where it's only picking up certain things where it affects the electromagnetic field, is what I'm trying to get at. It could be wrong. I could be talking, like I said, I could be talking about my ass. What I'm saying to you is that I don't know what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is that these people only do this shit at nighttime. Don't ask me why. B, they use this certain equipment and they kind of pick up shit, but they never have conclusive evidence. Now, then you will watch certain YouTube videos, or you might go to Wikipedia, or you might, I don't know, watch certain channels, some other format. They go, ghosts are real, people are real, this shit's happening. Yep. How do I relay this to me? Number one, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm watching a ghost show like Ghost Hunters, for example, at 12 or 1 o'clock at night, I'm fucking scared. I don't know why, but it bloody freaks me out. Number two, let's talk about real life experiences. Okay. Like I said, going back, we could talk about the Ouija board or the Ouija board. And for many women out there where you've had, some weird or whacked out party where your friend brings out this, and like I said, you talk about, you try and contact the spirit of Marilyn Monroe or some other celebrity that comes to mind. I'm going to tell you that I've probably had, I don't know, maybe, I'm just thinking right now, maybe 3 to 4 or 5 experiences where I went to my friend's house, they brought out the Ouija board, or they didn't even bring out that. We all sat around holding hands or sitting in a circle, just touching index and your middle finger and creating a chant, or the chant was spoken, and you're basically trying to contact, the afterlife, okay? I can tell you right now, A, that shit's scary. B, do I believe in it? Yes. Because the reason why is I have experienced shit that can't be explained, okay? So, can I relay a particular moment for you? No, I'm being very general, but what I'm saying to you is, as an example, sitting around in a circle, you're all holding hands, you have the Ouija board, you're even all just have a candle and you're trying to, you know, talk to spirits and you say particular sayings, etc. Shit's happened, all right? You might hear shit. You might hear my husband in the background sneezing. That's weird. Um, is it paranormal? No. Anyway, let me say to you that there has been, now, I'm just thinking out loud, I'm spitballing here. You are in a heightened state of anxiety or nervousness, okay? You do this shit with your girlfriends when you're young. I'm talking between the ages of maybe, I don't know, 12 to 15 or 8 to 15, if you want to say that. I'm saying to you that more often than not, you just scare the shit out of yourself. So, based on that fact, it could be all bullshit. What I'm saying to you, though, is I have experienced weird shit, okay? I have experienced, if you want to call it a seance, if you want to, well, I suppose that's what it is when you're conjuring spirits, but I have experienced as a child or a teen, early teens, where I've sat in a circle holding hands and trying to talk to or trying to conjure a spirit, and I've have it, there's a candle, there's candles, and there's no wind, all right? There's no breeze, there's nothing, and out of nowhere, the candle blows out. I am saying to you, where I have experienced, now it's all coming back to me, unfortunately. I have experienced right now, as I'm talking, I have experienced times where I've been in a circle, we're holding hands or holding fingers, you're asking spirits particular things. As an example, you're asking the spirit to raise your arms to acknowledge the fact that you're there, and they raise your fucking arms. Now, yeah. If you were listening to what I'm saying, you're probably like, Amanda, I think you're talking out of your ass. I'm telling you right now, this shit is real, okay? I'm telling you right now, this shit is real. It's happening. It's happened. Now, going into a deeper thing, let's talk about when you, or if you, have experienced the sense of ghosts, okay? So I can give you good, like I'm an expert. I'm going to have a drink. I can give you two scenarios or situation. They're not scenarios. I can give you two situations where I've dealt with this paranormal shit and I'm like, this shit's real. Okay? Number one, I'm going to talk about a situation where my grandfather passed away. So I'll call him Grandpa, okay? And he was someone who I loved and adored. And yeah, I just had a lot of respect for him, and he passed away. I'm talking, no, okay, let's go back a couple of steps. I don't know what age I think I'm in my 20s, okay? I cannot tell you the exact age because I can't remember. I was married with my first husband. I remember we were in a house that was in New South Wales. I won't say what the address was because of being very cryptic. What I can say to you is that I adored my grandpa, and I was very sad when he passed away. And he passed away at a time where, like I said, I was married to my first husband and we were trying to have children. And I think he passed away at a period where I'd become pregnant and I'd lost the child. And so I was still actively trying to get pregnant and he passed away. So that doesn't mean anything in part of the story, but I'm just relaying it to the sense of this is what was going on. So I remember he passed away. I remember he had we had the funeral and which was at Palmdale. So I'm narrowing down the search of where I may be located. But anyway, it was at Palmdale and he passed away. And I remember that night after the funeral and the wake and, dealing with the bullshit of all that because no one likes a wake, let's be honest, that I went to sleep. We stayed at my in-laws' house in a secret location. We stayed at my in-laws' house and my ex-husband and I remember that night where obviously my emotions were very strong because like I said, my grandpa had died and passed away and he was a cool dude. Okay. I really liked him. I loved him a lot. And I remember that night that I went to sleep and I'm picturing myself in this spare room that had I wasn't even in bed. Like I was I was on the floor on a blow up mattress, I think, in a sleeping bag. I don't know what's happening. All I remember was that night I was thinking about my grandpa and I was asleep. I hope. I was asleep and there was a bloody moment of time where I felt like he was in the room. Oh my God. I don't know what was happening. I don't know what was going on, but I'm telling you right now, I was thinking of him. I had the sense that he was in the room and then I had the sense that he was okay and, he died because he just died. Because before he died, he was in hospital and he had Alzheimer's and he couldn't remember people. And there was a moment when I went to visit him in hospital and like I said, he was in hospital for, I don't know, weeks, it could have been months, where he, he had dementia, then he had Alzheimer's. Then there was a period where he was in hospital because he'd had previously had cancer and then he had cancer that had spread to his spine. So he was in hospital because basically he couldn't walk and he couldn't move, etc. And I just remember that time was very stressful for my mum. It was very stressful for my nana, who was obviously, married to my grandpa. And I just remember that there was one day that I went into the hospital to see him. And most of the time, like pretty much 99% of the time, he was, a complete nutter. You couldn't talk to him. He wasn't lucid. he was completely off the fairies. And I remember one time, and I can't remember right now because I'm like talking on the fly, but I remember having a conversation with him, and there was a moment in time where he was completely there. And he said something to me that really, like, it was about my ex-husband. And it really resonated with me, and I can't think of it right now what he said. Anywho, all I remember is this night when he, like I said, when he passed away and I was thinking of him, it honestly felt like he was in the room with me. And the sense that I got was that he was okay and you are going to be okay. And honestly, I'm trying to think of that moment because I had a feeling that if I opened my, because like I'm saying, I was shit scared. If I'd opened my eyes at that time, I honestly think I would have seen him. But I was so scared to open my eyes, I didn't, because I thought, I just don't want to see dead people, all right? I don't want to do it. I was scared. So there was that. That's one moment. Number two, number two is, this is very generalized. Okay, I'm thinking of another moment. I'm trying to like not get involved with all these moments, but have you ever been in a situation? Now, this could be a ghost thing or paranormal things or whatever, where you have gone into a house that you've never been to before, and for whatever reason or somehow, somewhere, reason why, I don't know. Excuse me, that was a burp. That you feel like you are not alone. Okay, so it could be where you go into a house, and more often than not, I've experienced this when I'm talking about very old houses, okay? I'm talking about, I'm thinking of a situation where there was a time where I went into this old home in particular, and it was an old house. I'm talking, it probably was like in the 1900s. It was like really old house. And I had this sense that I wasn't alone. I had this sense that, this is the other thing. Okay, I could be dribbling. This is a feeling that I had. It wasn't a bad feeling. It was an okay feeling. It wasn't a happy feeling. It was just like, I'm not alone. This person or feeling or whatever, there's a person here. I don't know what they are or who they are, but they were a friendly person. And it was kind of like this sense of like, I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but it's kind of like I went into this home that, you know, for whatever reason, I felt like I wasn't alone. Now, how did I get that sense? So, I don't know if you've ever been the type of person where you've gone into a building or you believe in this shit, because you might be like, Amanda, you're full of shitto. Have you been in a situation where you've gone into a building and I don't know, you have a sense of you're not alone? I don't know if it's like, it's not like a tap on the shoulder. It's not like, it can be like goosebumps. It can be, I don't know, if you close your eyes and you think, or you just let be what be, what may might be. I don't know, I'm talking about my I don't know. What I'm trying to, I'm not describing this very well. What I'm trying to say to you is you've gone into a building or a house or whatever, and you just have a sense. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I can't really explain what that sense is, but it's just a feeling. It's not like necessarily goosebumps, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it is a sense that you feel like somehow someone is there, but you can't see them. Okay, it's a sense of, I don't know, a life that was but isn't there any longer. I don't know. It's very really hard to describe, but I just remember in this particular scenario that I'm trying to get to that, I went into this older home and I just remember I was sitting in the lounge room and I was going to say, was I drunk? I don't think I was. I just had this sense that, I wasn't alone and that somehow there was this feeling of, and it wasn't a bad feeling. It wasn't scary feeling actually. It was just a feeling that s- I'm somehow, entwined with the people who used to live in the house. Now, may that be people who had passed away? May that be people who had just left the house? I don't know, but I'm thinking and surmising right now that it felt like people who had passed away. May it necessarily be people who'd passed away in the house, or the feeling that they had moved on in some sense, and their, if you want to call it their aura, that's the only word that I can come up with, or their, yeah, aura is probably the best word I can come up with. But there are many people who, like if you're a medium, okay, you probably would be able to explain this a lot deeper than I'm explaining this to you right now. All I can say to you, it was just a feeling that I had that when I was in this house, I had a sense that I wasn't alone. At the time, I was with another person, a human who was alive. But what I'm saying to you is that I felt like there was other people or persons in the house who'd passed on, couldn't see them, all right, but I could feel them. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I've never seen a ghost, okay? Unfortunate? Probably not, because if I'd seen or have seen anyone who'd passed away, I'd probably shit my pants. And for anyone who has done that, like as in a medium or just a person who isn't a medium but somehow is in touch with these things, I can imagine if this is new to you, it would probably scare the shit out of you, okay? I've never been in a situation where I've seen a ghost. I know you're all disappointed by this. But what I'm saying to you is that I have had experiences where I have felt like I am in touch with a ghost. And it is one of those weird things where if you let your mind go there, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm talking because a lot of people could then talk about, if you want to talk about mediums, if you want to talk about ghosts, if you want to talk about Ouija boards, that a lot of people then go to the dark arts, okay? This is not a dark art, but what I'm saying to you is that this could be interpreted as that. And it could also be where, and I know for personal experience, it is scary, all right? It scares the shit out of me. It really does. It is scary. I don't know why, because somehow it could be a mind thing where somehow in my mind I've interpreted having access to this kind of feeling or thoughts or whatever as bad. Not bad in the sense of bad, but in the sense of evil, okay? Because I have been with people where they've tried to, if you want to say, conjure spirits or whatever, and they've had ill intentions, if you want to say that. And then I've had people moving forward in my life where they've gone, guess what? Because you did this, where you were trying to conjure up or try to talk to this person, then you've opened a particular door that has then allowed these bad spirits, if you want to call it that, to enter your psyche or enter your life. Now, do I believe in that? I don't know. All I know is any of this kind of shit scares the shit out of me. Now, as you know, if you listen to my podcast, you will know that I'm now 50 years of age, all right? I'm telling you right now, just talking about this scares me. If I was doing this podcast at 1 o'clock a.m. in the morning and it was dark and I was alone, I wouldn't be doing it. Okay? Because for some reason, this shit scares the shit out of me. Like I also said, watching these ghost hunter shows on bloody Discovery or whatever channel it's on Foxtel or your streaming service, this shit scares the shit out of me. Because, like I said, I have experienced times in my life that you can't explain. Like I said, my grandpa, when he passed away, and the feeling that he was in the room, if I open my eyes, I don't even surmise. But I'm trying to say to you that I felt like he was in the room. If I'm also talking about this house where, for whatever reason, I felt like I wasn't alone. I felt like this house, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't, for someone who, okay, you go into a building or an old building or whatever building and you have a sense that you're not alone, it's very unsettling. Okay. You can't explain it. It's not like you see. And this is the other thing is that if you talk about this, if you want to talk about this generally to your friends or whatever, I'm not having these conversations, by the way, with my friends, that it makes it even harder because I don't see ghosts, okay? I don't see people. I don't see ghosts. I don't see, apparitions. I don't see, like, even, how sometimes, you hear ghost stories where they might see a light or they might see a moving something, which, goes back to ghost hunters are trying to capture this something. I don't see that. It's a feeling. So that's even worse. Because how do you explain to someone who, say, doesn't believe in the paranormal, who doesn't believe in ghosts, how do you explain what that feeling is like? You can't. You can only kind of relay what you feel and your thoughts and feelings around that. And most people, I'm pretty sure, would be like, you are full of shito. I'm saying to you, I'm not. I am kind of about other shit, but I'm not full of shito. I'm telling you that I've had experience in my life that you just, like I said, the levitation experience is one experience that you just can't explain what that is. Well, you can. I can explain it to you. But like I said, it is something that you just cannot explain to, your normal person. For me, that's one scenario. I have many situations in my life where, like I said, I've walked into a building or a property or a house, whatever, or done the old witchy board thing, and shit's happened and I cannot explain it to you. So, unfortunately, if you are looking for concrete evidence that ghosts exist, I can't give it to you. But what I can say to you is, if you are someone who is, and I think this is something that comes back to people who, and I could be wrong here. I'm not an empath. I'm not a medium, but I am someone who is very hypersensitive emotionally. Could this all be in my mind? Could it be? I hope not, because if it is, I'm fucked. What I am, though, saying to you is that I think, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, there is some. This is shit. This is shit. This is real shit. Okay. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in the paranormal? Like I said, I've talked about levitation. 100% believe it because I've seen it in real life. I've been witnessed to people who have been levitated. All right. I've seen it with my own eyes. May that be young eyes. May that be scared of my brain eyes, but I've seen it. Okay. Can I give you 100% evidence that ghosts exist? Okay. No. What I can say to you, though, there has probably been 3 examples that I'm thinking right now in my mind. Like I said, when my grandfather passed away is one example. Another example that comes to mind is this particular house I went into, that I had a sense that I wasn't alone. And like I said, it wasn't a bad feeling, but I was not alone. Okay? There was something. I don't know what it was. It could have been, if I was to go back to that particular house and go in there, I could probably explain it to you better, but it was many years ago, so it's very hard to explain. It also is a thing where, if you are someone who is sensitive to this shit, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to open myself up to this shit because it scares the shit out of me. So it's one of those things where now, as a person who's a lot older and wiser, I don't let my mind go there. Like I said, if I'm watching ghost shows, I get afraid very quickly and kind of switch my mind off because I don't want to go there. You might be like, Amanda, you're a fucking freak. You would be right. No, I'm not a freak. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm not alone. I'm 100% sure on that. There's many people, and I know, because they wouldn't have these bloody shows in the first instance if, this is all full of shit. There's many people, apart from mediums or psychics, etc., that believe in this shit. If you believe in this, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Let's talk about it. Like I said, I am now the type of person where I don't let my mind go there because it scares the shit out of me. And yeah, I just don't. For some reason, I am now of the thought where, okay, something happened many years ago where I was with a group of people, and look, at the time I was, on medication. And, my mind was probably more open than it should be. But what I'm saying to you is that, for whatever reason, it was something that, we were talking about shit. Something happened. I can't even remember what it was, but I had this sense that this sounds weird. I had this sense that not only could I be attuned to something that was a good thing, but I also had this sense that I could be attuned to something that was not so good. Now, some people might, if you want to go there, let's call it evil. Sounds weird. Bad. But all I know is it's something that made me uncomfortable. It made me feel like I shouldn't be going there. So I kind of like pulled it up. I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. So, anyway, do you have a story that you can relay that relates to ghosts? Is this something that completely seems fanciful to you and you're just like, Amanda, you're full of shit? Is this something that resonates with you? Have you seen a ghost? Have you actually seen one? I haven't seen one, but I can tell you right now, I felt them. Okay. Is this something that you think you can talk about and you want to talk about? Because I'd love to hear if there's something that, resonates with you. I'd love to hear what you have to say. All right. If you have a ghost story or a sense of someone who's passed away and you'd like to relay that to me, you can. You can contact me anytime via info@thetequilahour.com.au. If you have something you'd like to talk about or something that's, out of the ordinary, or like I said, this podcast for me is, the opportunity to talk about, stuff like this. But is also the opportunity for me to talk about stuff that, is very deep and important to me as well. So it can be very deep and very, I was going to say dark, but that's not the right word. But you know, I'm going to talk about shit that interests me. I'm going to talk about shit that's serious. I'm going to talk about personal situations, personal life stories, etc. It's not all about me just rambling on about my shitty childhood. It will be about stuff like this as well. So if this is something that you'd like to talk about the paranormal, or you want to continue this conversation, like I said, reach out to me. If you would like, or actually, if you are listening to this via YouTube, subscribe, like. Yeah, I know. Who am I? I don't know. You can now listen to this podcast not only via YouTube, but via YouTube Music, which blows my mind. So if you are interested in what I'm putting down, go for it. If you would like to listen to this via streaming platforms like Spotify, love to hear your feedback and love you to listen. But anyway, I'll leave it at today. I don't know how this is going to turn out. This could be total shit or it could be really awesome. But anyway, thank you to those who are listening. Thank you to those who care. And I'll catch you on the next one. See ya. Bye.